This is a story about my sister. We're originally from New York, but after my sister got married, she moved to Chicago. She didn't know anyone there, no friends, no acquaintances, because all her schooling and social life had been in New York. She felt quite lonely. Through a writing-related Facebook platform, she befriended a girl, and for 5 years they remained close, though only through Facebook and WhatsApp. Their friendship was strong, discussing everything from family matters to intellectual topics. Since both were into writing, their chats often revolved around subjects like mountains, fireplaces, Sufism, and even religion. This friend of hers was from Austin but had come to Chicago for her master's. My sister was delighted to have someone other than her in-laws to connect with. They even met once at McDonald's. What happened that day was bizarre and unsettling. On a Wednesday, they planned to meet the next day. My sister's daily routine was to finish her chores by noon, as her kids returned home afterward. She also taught the Quran online at 3 p.m., so she told her friend to come in the morning. Thursday morning, my sister texted her that she was free, but there was no response. After several texts, her friend finally replied, saying she had been busy but was on her way. When she arrived, she hugged my sister tightly, which felt a bit excessive given their friendship. As she hugged her, she pressed her left shoulder hard and said, "You weren't this happy when I first entered this house, but now you are. That makes me happy." That comment struck my sister as odd, but she brushed it off. They sat in the lounge and chatted, but the conversation took strange turns. At one point, her friend said, "There used to be a fireplace in your lounge, but it's gone now." My sister was stunned. This was her first visit and she had never seen any pictures of the house. Ignoring that, my sister decided to give her a house tour. Afterward, she suggested they grab breakfast at McDonald's. Even there, her friend behaved strangely. Since my sister was memorizing the Quran, most of their discussions revolved around that. But out of nowhere, her friend would randomly start singing songs. After breakfast, her friend felt cold and suggested sitting outside. They chose a bench that was half in sunlight and half in shade. She then pulled out small trinkets from her bag, insisting my sister keep one. Despite my sister's initial refusal, she insisted so much that my sister accepted a keychain. Then she repeated the same strange habit, bursting into songs in the middle of conversations. This was especially uncomfortable for my sister, who had completely stopped listening to music due to her Quran memorization. Trying to distract herself, my sister asked if she wanted to shop. They went to a mall nearby. Her friend bought some dresses and then, to my sister's shock, asked her to pay for them. My sister found this inappropriate, but couldn't refuse. She reluctantly paid. At the next store, she did the same thing, picked items and expected my sister to pay. This time, my sister made an excuse that she didn't have enough cash. After shopping, they returned home because my sister had to pick up her kids at 2:30 p.m. At home, she excused herself to perform ablution. As she was in the bathroom, she heard the sound of the back kitchen door opening. That door was old and rarely used, requiring force to open. She hurriedly finished ablution and stepped out. Her friend was inside, saying she had just been looking around. My sister felt uneasy but let it go. Later, as my sister was washing dishes, her friend, now wearing an overcoat, said, "Look, someone wrote my father's name inside my coat." My sister suggested it might have been a laundry tag, but her friend insisted she never had anything written on it before. Then, suddenly, she went out the back door again. This time, my sister followed her, demanding to know why she kept going there. The back area was unkempt, with a lemon tree, a servant's quarter, and a laundry area my sister never used. She found her circling the lemon tree like a possessed person, then suddenly plucked 2 lemons. She dug her finger into one and, despite my sister's protests, continued acting erratically. Finally, my sister scolded her, telling her to go inside. She complied, but carried one lemon with her, while the other she tossed toward the laundry area. Once inside, she bizarrely cut the lemon in half and began mashing one half into the sink where my sister was washing dishes. My sister had had enough. She sternly told her to go sit in the lounge. Shortly after, her friend said, "I should leave now." She got into her car and left. That was just the beginning. Many eerie events followed. My sister didn't share them with us at first, fearing we'd scold her. Instead, she confided in a friend who advised her to demand her money back. Though hesitant, my sister texted her. Instead of replying, the girl sent 2 voice recordings of songs. My sister ignored them. One day, while waiting in her car to pick up her kids, she messaged the girl again, asking for her money. This time, the girl replied, "Sure, I'll send it right now." As my sister put her phone down, she saw her kids approaching. The moment she reversed her car, another vehicle appeared out of nowhere and crashed into her. She never saw it coming. The rear of her car was severely dented. Her husband later took the car for repairs. The very next day, in the exact same spot, another accident occurred. A biker crashed into the newly repaired area, denting it again. A week later, my sister noticed something bizarre. A white cloth tied around the backyard faucet, with several torn white fabric pieces scattered in the laundry area and on the lemon tree. Concerned, she finally told me everything. I urged her to consult a knowledgeable religious scholar. Meanwhile, I advised her to keep reciting Quranic verses. She began reciting Surah Al-Baqarah. As soon as she started, intense pain shot through her left shoulder, the same one her friend had pressed. It felt like someone was trying to rip it off. She persisted in recitation. Strangely, the girl, who hadn't contacted her in days, suddenly started calling repeatedly. I told my sister to block her. She did. That night, when she finally finished Surah Al-Baqarah, she felt a strange drowsiness she had never experienced before. Shortly after, she received a response from the scholar. He confirmed that this was black magic. He instructed her to wear gloves, remove all the white cloth pieces, soak them in water infused with Quranic recitations, and then burn them before sunset. The next day, my sister's husband followed the instructions. As he burned the last piece, he said, "I swear, as soon as it was completely burnt, it vanished. It was as if it had never existed." When we asked the scholar why the girl did this, he suspected she was still learning black magic and wanted to test if her spells worked. My sister was just a random target. Thankfully, she's fine now, and everything is back to normal. You might wonder why my sister invited her over in the first place, but she had known her for years, even knew her family, an educated family with doctors and engineers. Yet no one knows why she chose such a dark path.